Hey, hello and welcome. It's me, Roman again, and it's RPA Fridays, session number 13 this time. So, let's start. I'm Roman, and I'm part also of the Robot ICT family, a company based in Czech Republic where we love to automate every process possible. We are focused on automation in different kind of industries, and we do this by using RPA, Robotic Process Automation. And we also have our own workflow automation software dedicated to networks and data centers. So if you will like this webinar, if you want to know more about us, all the links are in the descriptions. And please, if you like it, like the video and subscribe for more content. It would mean a lot to us. So we have more videos coming, and every Friday there is new webinar. So if you like this video, maybe you can also take a look to our channel and check other videos. Maybe you'll find some topic interesting. RPA Fridays is a showcase of RPA technology, mostly in UiPath, where I'm trying to show you some task and some problem to solve. And this time, we will have a program. We will explore Google Maps activities for UiPath. We will also, and the goal will be to create a holiday itinerary. And this itinerary will be based on places. I will show you just in a minute. Yeah. Input will be a list of places and duration of stay on each place. Imagine you're planning a trip and you're going this and there and this place and this place and this site and this site. And you imagine roughly how long you will stay in, let's say, watching the waterfall, where you will stay in a city, maybe walking the streets and so on. So this will be input. And the output will be a document with itinerary and pictures of places, and also count of the total duration of the whole trip. I will show you how it looks. So the input document is looks like this. These are places in a beautiful country in Europe, Slovenia. And I put about 12 places together. And to the second column, I put duration, how long I want to stay in this place, okay? How long we want to stay in this place, in hours. So 4 hours in Ljubljana, 2 hours in Blejsko jezero, and so on and so on. And the robot will create this. I will show you the result now so you can feel how it will look like. The robot will create a Word document, stating all the ways, name of the place, then some picture from Google Maps, description how long we'll stay in Ljubljana or in this place, and then between the places the travel time and travel distance in case we are driving the car, for example, right? So these all places and pictures of those places, and then as a last thing, okay, quite long itinerary. As a last thing will be a total travel time, yeah. So in hours, and then you can you can feel okay. So there's a lot of commuting between the places. There's a lot of travel affected. So maybe I will plan this trip for 4 days instead of just a weekend, or stuff like that. So it's an example, of course, example of using Google Maps activities, and also we'll be using Microsoft Word activities. And so let's see what we have there. Quickly about the activities. Or quickly about what you will need for this. So first of all, you will need a Google Cloud account with billing turned on. I will show you how to do it. And also UiPath with additional activities packages installed. First, Word activities, then Web API activities, because we will be working with JSON format. And last but not least, the Google Maps.activities. These are from UiPath Marketplace. So I will show you where it is, and then of course we will need a list of places that you would like to visit. We have to say thank you to Nidhi Chaturvedi. I hope I spell it correctly. That's the author of these activities package. Is a let's say third-party activity package. So it's not official one, but it works well. It interacts with the API calls and retrieves exactly what we want, and it has all these activities inside the package, which from all of them we will use these four. The scope, of course, then get distance and duration, search for places, and get place photo, and this will help us. So how you can find these activities packages, you can go to UiPath Marketplace and just search for them or browse them, and this is the one that we will use. It actually says it's supported by publisher and it's bronze certified. So it has some kind of rating, so you can trust this package is working well, and it has some kind of rating, and also reviews, 5-star review. So it's good to use such packages. And it's also cool that developers, independent developers, are working on their own activities packages. So thank you, thank you Nidhi Chaturvedi for this one. And then let's check out the APIs in the Google Maps. So because you will need to enable these two APIs from Google Maps, and for this you need to register in the Google Cloud Platform. We already used it in the one of the previous sessions when I was demonstrating the Google UI Vision activities. And you have to search for Google Maps platform. You just go there and search for Google Maps platform and enable these two APIs. It's easy, so you can easily use it. For different activities from this package, you may need to enable more of these APIs. And you can find out about it here in questions, I believe. I put a link in the description on this to this website. So there is also explained what APIs you have to turn on, turn off. Please keep in mind two things. First of all, some of the APIs and the sorting and how Google actually handles them can vary and change through the time, right? This was a year ago, and there already are minor changes. Some of the requests and some of the API calls are within different API groups and so on. So it's always good to go and explore. But of course, if UiPath will tell you that you have to actually enable some kind of API package in case it won't work. So be aware that some of the APIs are giving us certain amount of hits for free every month, thousands or 10 of thousands. But some of the APIs are actually paid by, let's say, small portion of a US dollar, maybe 1 cent or half of a cent per hit, let's say per some request. But always search for this, and please keep in mind that you once you enable the billing, then you can be charged for this. Maybe small money, but if you have a big project with a lot of files, then maybe you can go to something better. But of course, it's a service and it's a very well working service, so why it should be paid. So how to enable billing? There was a question on one of the last videos. So you go to this hamburger menu, the big one, and go to billing. And then it's pretty straightforward. You have to add, if you don't have any billing account, then you have to create some billing account. I believe, yeah, what was it? My billing account. Okay, so there is something like a pop-up where you can manage billing accounts, and you add your address and you add your bank card details, right? Just like if you would go to e-shop and pay for some stuff, and that's it. And it's pretty easy. You can also dedicate this account or connect it with your projects, and disable it for certain projects and enable it for another project. So it's pretty easy, but don't worry, you won't get charged like thousands or hundreds of dollars. Just go, try, play. Don't worry. I mean, even these APIs that we will be using should be, according to documentation, paid. I'm not charged so far by anything in the billing. Maybe it has a delay or something. But go ahead and try, and maybe spend a few dollars to learn something new. It's always worth it. So now let's go to the point. I already have the project here in UiPath opened. It's a blank project. There is nothing much than you would say. It's just a new sequence. So for all the activities to work, we have to install the packages I was talking previously. I was talking a minute ago. So I go to Manage Packages, and if you want to build this, you can pause this video. You can maybe watch it later. It's fine. But I will go in a normal speed. Maybe you cannot catch up, but you can definitely see how it works and get an idea. So first of all, the Word, UiPath Word activities, okay, they are not in project dependencies, not local, but in official, okay. UiPath Word activities, install. Then I need the web APIs, because I'll work with JSON, this one, uipath.webapi.activities, install. It's a bit confusing because it said install, but it actually actually, well, the installing starts once I hit save. Then the next one will be the map, Google Maps. And you cannot find it in official folder. You have to go to Marketplace. And this is our one by the lady Chaturvedi. And I click install. So now I marked these 3 packages for installation. I click save, and it will go and install one and then another one. So meanwhile this is happening, you can think about how would you approach it, where to start, what's the foundation of the project, and how to do it. So the goal is to, once again, extract these places, names, and the duration of stay in each place, and find the direction between the places, count how long it will take from one to another one, and also get a picture of the place and put it all together in a nice itinerary that looks like this. Okay. So it's a lovely place, though. Most of the places I visited, I recommend you to go and visit. So the packages are there. I can see them in project part here on the left side. So it's cool. And I can start building this. So first of all, first, I want to get this data. This the input data. So I will use read range from the workbook activities. Okay, this one. Okay, read range list of places to see. Then I'll navigate to this one, places to see. Good. Sheet 1, that should be fine. And I need to put nothing here, so all the data is taken. And create an output variable that will be called places to see. And unsurprisingly, this is a variable of a data type, data table. Good, so now we have this inside. And since most of the time I'll be putting some parts of information to Microsoft Word, I need to use Word activities. So let's look for them, and let's enclose everything in Microsoft Word application scope. And that's this one. It's a little bit hidden there. Okay, Word application scope. This time it will be quite complex project, quite a lot of activities stacked together, but I believe you can catch up and you will be fine. So you will put a name of the file which is not created yet, but this activity creates a new one if it doesn't exist. So let's call it the trip, like the one that I already have opened. So maybe the trip to Slovenia. Okay, maybe something else. Good. So this is the Word application scope. I like to rename these so they are unique. Rename the sequences, the containers, because once you will then set, for example, scope for variables, then it's easier to navigate where you are and what is happening there. So, and in this one, I want to go place by place. So I will use for each row in data table, like this, and start to get stacked a little bit. In data table that is called places to see. So I will also put it to name places like this. So that's easier. Each place. And first the logic is that I want to actually create pairs to count the let's say duration and distance from one place to another one. So when I go line by line, then I have to start counting with the distance only at the second line. But I may be getting too early to this moment, because first thing first, I want to actually assign to create a variable where I will store all the time spent. So spent on the journey, right? So I create a new variable that will be called total time in hours, just to be descriptive. And I want it to be a data type double. So I go to browse for data types, double. And I go to my favorite core library, system.double. yeah, because there may be decimal points numbers. So total time in hours, and I will count the first stay to the total time. That will be the first thing first. So assign add time spent to total, let's say, like this. So total time in hours is, and on the right side, total time in hours plus, now conversion to double, like this. I will make it bigger. And current row stay. Okay, good. It's like this. So this will just add the time I spent here. Now I want to work in the Google Maps with Google Maps. So Google Maps, and there are my activities. And the first thing you always should in a lot of these activities, they have some kind of scope where everything else is working, and when you have to enter API key, connect to some service just once, and then you perform certain actions. So I put Google Maps scopes in my code, and this will be first a usage of Google Maps scopes, and I have to enter the API key here, which I can find in my Google Cloud Platform. And I will go back to where I was, APIs, Google Maps, okay. No, actually I will use a general API key. So I will go to the hamburger menu, the main one, APIs and services. APIs, credentials. And there is my API key. Oops, no, it's not. No domain verification on credentials. Sorry, I clicked somewhere else. It was a little bit confusing. So this is my API key. It's great it's not showing, because if you will show it to someone, easy like that, you can actually use it for your benefit, and use my account like this. It's easier. So it's not the most secure way how to connect in general to any kind of service like this. There are better ways how to connect, like 0820 or service account, but unfortunately this pack of activities works so far yet only with the API key. So I put it in my clipboard, and I enter it here, and now it's fine. It does not give me errors. So do in Google Maps scope. Okay. I like to keep things neat, and I go to use first of these activities, search for places. Okay, so this works the same way as you would search for the places on Google Maps. So I want to enter as a search string, a current row, place dot toString, because it's an object, we have to make a place from it. And the result, there are two ways how to approach the result. And one is place details, which gives me just a simple string of, I don't know what, arrays, with some simple details. But I want this JSON response. It's easier to actually work with. And I also prepared somewhere the example of the response. But let me create place JSON variable. I will find it for you. And this one. I will go back to this. So the response for this call looks like this. Yeah, there are basic information like icon, Ljubljana, Slovenia, whatever, and then also location, latitude, longitude, and in the end also a photo. And this is what we will be working later. So I'll keep this open and go back to my project, place JSON, and because we have a JSON variable, and I want to make it. No, we have actually a string that has a JSON inside. You can see that the response is a string, but we wanted to make it a JSON so we can access each part of it. Then I need to use activity called deserialize JSON. This one, the first one, and it takes as an input, well, JSON string, obviously, so which is place JSON, and returns a JSON object. So I call it place object. So create a new variable by hitting Ctrl K. So now we have a place JSON, and now I can actually get from this JSON, which will look something like this, the photo reference, this string, and use it for next activity that is called get place photo. So let's go to my Google Map activities again and check get place photo. It should be just the next one. So the get place photo takes as a photo reference the thing that I just extracted from here. So how to get to it? I struggled with it a little bit because you see that there are always like array of some kind of sets, or maybe more numerable types inside each other. So how to do it is to go like this, and I will make it big so you can see it. And I have a little node here, so I know how to approach it. Place object, then in brackets photo. Yeah, that's this one, photo. Maybe I can actually show it like this. Photo. Okay, no, sorry. Photo, then 0, like a first instance, and then should be photo reference. Okay, and let me double check it if there is not an additional 0. No, okay. And then to string, like this. Okay. And it still has some errors because we have to specify a few other things. For example, a max pixels. So let me. It's a width of it of the picture, and height or width. Okay, whatever. 400 and file path. This must be full file path to the folder where I want to store it. So let's create a new folder for it, images, here in my project, and copy the path inside. And file name, if you supply just some kind of name, it will add .jpeg to it, so you don't have to supply extension. So I will go and use the name of the place as a file name, like this. Good. So now if I wanna put this photo in my Microsoft Word and maybe put the name of the place, then I will follow like this. I am already in Word application scope, so I go and find these activities and search for activity called append text. This one. So what we want to actually append, we want the name of the place, let's say, okay, let's check how it looks in the Word. So name of the place, then the picture, and then how long we are staying there. So name of the place, and this, so name of place. Then I want actually a new line, so I need to put one with just empty brackets. Yeah, that's a little trick, because otherwise the picture will follow the text. It's possible to put a new line before the text, but it's not possible to put a new line after the text. Or maybe some way how. Maybe you can show me. Maybe you can find out how. I mean, always there are more than one. There's always more than one way to do things. So now I want to put the picture. So there, from the Word activities, there's activity called add picture. And only what you have to specify is the path to the picture, which we have. I will reuse this path. I only will add one more backslash plus the name of the file, which is the same as I created before, plus .jpeg. Ooh, JPEG. Let me show this for you in a larger scale. So this is the path to the images. And this is how it ends. So this was quite easy, and this is pretty much all what happens in this Google scope. And I also want to mention how long we will stay at that place. So after the Google Maps scope, after this, so here, I want append text here. How long will we stay at that place? So let's put there something like in, and now the name of the place. So I will reuse this one. Maybe it's not necessary, but let's do it like this. Staying plus current row stay dot toString hours, like this. Okay, so this will be just information, and the result of this one line will look like this. In Ljubljana staying 4 hours, right? And then another place, next place. Good. So far so good. Let's do a quick recap. We are working in Word application scope and going place by place in the input file that looks like this. There are places, and each place we are adding the stay here to a total time in hours and searching for that place through the Google Maps activities and fetching the photo reference using getPlacePhoto activity to get the photo and save it. Once it's saved, we have lashed all the details in our Microsoft Word result file, output file, and that's the first step. So that was pretty easy, and so this would work by itself, like just giving the pictures. But we need more information, and I want this project to be a little bit more complex. So see that when we are later in Blazko Jezero, I created this message, how far it is, and like how far is the journey, and how long it will take. So we have to work. We have to continue our work in for each row in data table. So here, just right after the append text, the last one, I will use it this way. There will be another activity, this time activity called if, because we have to work with some two variants. Before I start with if, and I will maybe just show you, I want to create two new variables in my workflow, and I want to create them in all the workflow because I want them to stay in the memory for next round of for each. So let me just click to the most top sequence and go to variables and create two of them. One will be called travel to, and the type of string, another travel from. Good. So far so good. And now I want to check if travel from is empty, which obviously will be by the first iteration. And if it's empty, that means that this is the first line, and then in the end of it, I will assign it to I will assign new new content to it. So that's what will happen in the then section. So transfer from travel from. Okay, I call it travel from. Okay, it's fine. So travel from will be a current row name, right? It's name. Oh no, it's place. Okay. Dot toString. Okay, so this will happen, and that's all that will happen in the first iteration. So the only first iteration of this for each row in data table will go to this branch. All the other iterations, second and next one, will go to this big else branch. So I already know there will be many things, so I will put a sequence here and call it sequence else branch, and start working on this one. So what we want to do, we want to assign also the variable travel to, sorry, which now makes sense. That's the same thing as on the left side. And in this moment, I have in travel from the previous item, and in travel to the one that I'm just looping on. So now travel to will be Blazko Jezero, and travel from is Ljubljana from the previous loop. So again, I will go ahead and use Google Maps scope because I want to get some information from Google Maps. So this will be a second one, do in second Google Maps scope, let's say like this. And I also have to supply the API key, so I will go ahead a little bit here on the top and paste it here. Good. So it should be easy. And now I will go to the Google Maps activities and search for get distance and duration. That's the one I want to use. So, and this will be pretty easy. You can set up actually many things there. For example, it could be you can actually put latitude and longitude as a argument, as an input, or you can also change the units from metric to imperial and so on, travel mode, driving, walking, bicycling, most of the things that you can also set up on Google Maps when you are searching for something. Also departure time, if you want results that are based on current traffic or on the history of the traffic, on some prediction. Anyways, origin will be travel from and destination will be travel to. It will be address, so I don't have to change anything, but I have to define two new variables, travel distance and travel duration. I will use these only because there's also JSON response, but this has pretty much all what I need and also in easy format in string. And now I can actually also put this information to Microsoft Word. So I put a new activity, append text, duration and distance. As I showed you before in Microsoft Word here, it will be this information. So let's also use it and write it like travel from plus, now like an arrow, plus travel to, will be now travel distance, kilometers. Oh, actually, yeah, I don't have to write kilometers because that's already there. Will be, let's say, kilometer long, and will take a travel duration. And that's it, because once you will see it, that it actually gives back in a string format like 42 minutes, like minutes, or 55.4 kilometers. That's why you can set up also the units. Anyways, this is quite hard for us to work with, because imagine we have this, what is it, 42 mins or 26 mins, and sometimes when the transfer is really quite long, let's see if we have any longer transfer. Okay, here 1 hour 58 mins. It will be really challenging for us to convert this to double. So to convert it to hours, right? So how would you do it? How would you convert it? There are maybe more ways how to do it, but I realized I will show you one fast workaround how to get help by Google itself. Because if you take this and open Google and put it here, and you put 2 hours, yeah, you get the exact result here. So the only thing I want to actually show you is to create a small piece of code, literally 2 activities, maybe 3, to extract, to convert this time and date format to hours. So let's do it. So far we are almost there. So the next one, next activity will be open browser. This one, good. And I want to go to google.com, and I want to use browser Chrome. So it's a different one than I'm using for showing you things. And let's click this one and open it. And let's put the activity type into and indicate the element. This one. Pretty easy, right? Let's check the selector, and it's pretty fine. For this purpose, it can work like this. It's the first input field. I like it. And I have to supply the text. So the text will be travel duration and 2 hours. And then in the end, I want to fire it with hitting enter. It won't take so much time. And maybe, yeah, name it, search field. And then what will happen? Let's test it out. Is that I will get this result, which will always have a number, then a space, and then hours. If you will really travel far and you will have like 1,000 hours as a result, then maybe you will have a space also between thousands. But I believe this time we can avoid this check and just pretend that we want to extract anything that is before the first space in a sense. So get text will be my next activity that I will use to extract what I want. I want to extract this. And I have a little thing with the selector. So let's check the selector. It's not really nice, let's say. So I'll open the UI Explorer and play with it a little bit, because I tried and played with this before. So I will show you how to do it. And the result, the magical selector, how I call it, will be that I want to change this one, the AA name, to only work with if it contains hour or hours. So I'll put 2 asterisk here, parent ID error, so whatever, and then I will add this class here. Oh, come on. Well, I'm trying so hard and it's not letting me know. And I will keep only this. I put asterisk. Now when I validate it, it's fine. Highlight it, it's fine, and it should be fine. Good. So this is the selector. I will make it bigger a little bit so you can see it. No, I can't. Okay, sorry. So you have to magnify your eyes with your eyes, and that's it. Get text, and of course, because I like things clean and nice and described, I get the result, and the result will be saved to a variable travel. Or how we call it? Let me check, because I have a little help here on side. Okay, it will be called travel duration in hours. Right, we have a similar variable here that's called total time in hours, so just don't mess them together. And now when I have this, then I want to only extract the first part, right? Because there is a space. So I will work with assign. I will put assign here and use travel duration in hours on the left side, and on the right side I'll use the same dot split and a space and a C sign and a 0. And dot toString, of course. So this way I can get the first part of the result. So I will only change the scope to something better, like do in second Google. So I can also work on it outside this container, because I want to assign it to total time in hours. Okay. So add the travel duration to total. So total time in hours will be travel duration in hours, but I have to convert it to, will be actually, sorry, let's make it bigger. So will be total time in hours, so I have to keep the hours that were there before, and now conversion to double, and travel duration in hours. Should be like this. Easy, we're almost there. So as a last step here, in this branch, outside, but it doesn't matter if it's here or here, I want to set up the transfer, the travel from a variable to the one, like the same way as was here, so just a copy. So when it will go to a next round, it will take the one that was traveled to now as a travel from, right? So one last thing is to take the total time in hours and write it in Microsoft Word, and that's all we have. So somewhere there, most probably there. Let's check where we are. Okay, you see that it's getting confusing a little bit. but this is for each row. So after the for each row, this is where the for each row ends, will be append text from Microsoft Word, and this will be the total time. So total travel time is total time in hours dot toString plus hours, like this, nicely. Okay, that's how it will look. It will look like this, total travel time, something like this. Okay, now I will run it, and it should work. So here is empty folder images. Here is my input file. It's different one than this one, so I will not close it. And let's see if we have the result as I expected. So run file. So the Word document is actually opened on my another monitor, and it's adding the information. I'm not sure if I will break it, if I will move it now. Okay, maybe now. Okay, that's the idea. And now, okay, I will not disturb the robot. This is the quick conversion. Oh, I forgot on one thing. I wanted to close the Google. Okay, we will have several Google Chromes here opened. I hope this will be fine. Okay, so one little activity was missing, to actually close the tab, close the browser after it. Or maybe now I could use attach browser and so on, but whatever, it's up to you. Okay, you will see a mistake in live session, but overall it seemed to be working. You see on the background here on the left side, there are pictures coming and there are durations coming, and we have the conversions from minutes to hours working fine, even too many Google Chrome browsers, but I think there are 12 places, so there will be 11 of them. Maybe I can start slowly closing them, but I don't want to interrupt this robot. It's not yet bulletproof to work on the background. Yeah, the activities are not working on the background. So let's just watch it. We are already in Tolminska Korita, a lovely place actually. And I hope this will not make the stream slow, but whatever, it's already happening. I can't stop it. Although it shouldn't be. And this is how it works. And I was thinking maybe next time. It was pretty complex project. It took us more than 40 minutes. Maybe next time we can work and improve this one. Maybe you can tell me how. Maybe what other things are you doing when you're planning your holiday, and a robot can be useful for you. And I really welcome all your suggestions, because when you want to know about something and you feel like it's not covered yet really well on other YouTube videos or other channels that you may see, or maybe you just want to challenge me to create a RPA Friday session about something particular, and then please let me know. Okay, so let's see if the result is the trip to Slovenia. It's satisfying, or it will satisfy if it does what we need. So I think it looks nice. Lovely. I'm looking forward to my trip. I'm not going there anyway. Actually, I've been there a few times. I can definitely recommend. So the total travel time is 36 hours, which is surprisingly different. Oh no, it's the same number like before, not unsurprisingly. And it works just fine. So you just saw a nice demonstration of working with Microsoft Word, working with Google Maps API. And I forgot to mention that there is a place for your questions in the end. Now I think about it. So please, if you have questions, you can now type them in chat, or you can also type them in comments and ask me later. And that's pretty much it. You can download this code, this example of the code, via a link that's in the description. And you can also explore by yourself and try. Only what you have to do is to add your API key. I, of course, did not include it in the code, and you have to, then you can try it. So don't be afraid. Google Cloud is giving us a lot of options, a lot of amazing API things that we can use. And together with UiPath, you can play with other UiPath activities. And the magic is in these connections, in the technologies, how they can merge and how they can communicate. So that should be pretty it. And I'm looking that we have few a few questions there in chat. So we have from Philip, maybe for next session it would be nice, moment, okay, it would be nice to see how you would connect this workflow via an API to a website. So someone can select a place and you hit go and it will give the result as some JSON. I see. Or maybe it can just provide the result as a Word document, right, to download. Well, that's definitely doable. It's interesting. I will definitely note it down. If we can create like any kind of robot that can start work on something on request from a website. And what we have, Johannes, nice session you in full out. Understand? Okay, can you book a hotel and flight? That's a good thing. Moment. Thank you for your patience. I have to note it down. That was a good idea from Philip. So booking hotel and flight, definitely you can have a robot on anything, and the thing is that you'll have to insert your preferences. But booking a hotel, definitely you can, and maybe that's an idea for the next session, right? But I see there are no more questions so far. So thank you for your attention and thank you for watching. Thank you for giving like to this video, subscribing eventually. And if you have more interesting questions, please let me know. And if you like RPA, if you like UiPath and stuff around, then definitely you are welcome to our Robot ICT community forum, where RPA and software automation is discussed by people. And you can also check every week a new RPA challenge. And that's it. And if you did not yet, then you please sign up to RPA Fridays and subscribe to our channel. It was Roman. It was Friday. It was a nice session again, number 13 already. It was very nice having you there. And that's pretty much it. Thank you for your attention. And bye and happy automation. Where is my... Okay.